Hello, Happy New Year. So this is just going to be a quick video talking about my top 5 favorite books I read this year. So for my top 5 favorite books, I read a lot of good books this year, and yeah, I'm just going to share my top 5, and I don't know if this is exactly in order, but yeah. So number 5, I have Divergent by Veronica Roth. You should know about the series. This one was just so good. It's my favorite in the series. And I started it earlier this year. Loved it. Should read it if you haven't read it already. Sorry about my birds squeaking. They like to do that. So just try to ignore, One of my next favorite books that I read is Looking for Alaska by John Green. It was so good. Definitely like one of the most thought-provoking books I read, and it just makes you think differently about life, My next favorite book that I read is The House of Hades by Rick Riordan. You should know about this series too. This one was my personal favorite. It's the Heroes of Olympus series, the 4th book, and I've loved every single book in the Percy Jackson and Heroes of Olympus series. And they're so good. If you haven't read them, read them like you need to. And this is so good. Lots of purse to bed. My next favorite book is Wonder by R.J. Palacio, and it is like so good and sweet and sad, and it was just so good. Like, read it. And yes, it's a middle grade or children's book, but read it. Like, it's so good, and it has good ratings on Goodreads if you need that to convince you. So read it now. It's like my favorite book that I read this year, my all-time favorite book now, is The Fault in Our Stars by John Green. And, yeah, it's so brilliant, and I love John Green. He's like, has to be my favorite author now, because he's just such a good author, funny, and now I'm going to share with you Kat's top 5 favorite books. So she's not really able to make videos now because her camera's being weird, and she can't like connect it to her computer or something, so we're going to try to get that fixed. So I'm going to share with you her books now, and I don't know the order of these books, but I know one that she really liked, so I'm going to save that one last. So she said that Reached was one of her favorite books, which is the 3rd book in the Match trilogy. I haven't read this trilogy, and I don't own any of the books, but I want to read them soon, hopefully. And yeah, so Reached is one of Kat's favorite books. Another one that she really liked is Curious Incident of the Dog in the Nighttime, and I've actually never heard of this book, but sounds interesting. She said Allegiant was one of her favorite books, and I read this one. It was good, but depressing, and it's still my least favorite in the trilogy, but I liked it a lot. She said that The Fault in Our Stars was one of her favorite books, and I agree with this. As you can see, I included this in this video. And the last book that I know she really liked was Light by Michael Grant, and I don't own this book. I'm going to have these 2 books represent them since they're in the series. And I don't know, I haven't read the series yet, but it's my goal for next year, one of the first books that I read. After I finish Champion and Will Grayson, I'm going to start Gone. Hopefully I'll love it, because she loves them, and they sound interesting. So yeah, Light was probably her favorite, but it's on her favorites. Those were all of our favorite books this year. Leave your favorites in the comments, and we'll make some videos probably in a week or 2, because we will most likely meet up and make videos. So bye!